let's talk about Danny Gray. I was shocked that he was inactive. It seemed like they drafted him specifically for Lance. He has a unique skill set in that he's the fastest player on the team and that he had a good preseason. He connected with Lance. They have a connection. They hit on a long touchdown. Inactive week 1. Strange. Do you think he should he should be active the rest of the year? Do you think he should have a role in this offense?
Well, I think that in a way they're kind of, by drafting him the way they did, that they kind of called their own bluff because they want to be able to steal on game day for their final 48 and be able to have that extra special teamer. So it's, hey, we'll go with this guy who's more of a special team role. But now you've got a player who I think is not just ideally suited for Lance. I think he's, the dynamic element that he gives you a dynamic element that helps you minimize the touches for Debo. So I think Danny Gray. The other thing is I think Kyle in the past has gotten so used to looking at this position as he's not actually going to complete those passes, that he's literally just gonna it's going to be creating space. We'll take a shot deep and that'll loosen him up. Now you got a quarterback and a receiver who can win deep. And if you guess what, if you go deep and you complete that to Danny Gray, that's 6.
Right.
That's going to show up on the scoreboard. So I think they've got to kind of change their mindset from we're trying to create space underneath with our deep route to we're trying to score touchdowns with our deep route. It's a different mindset.
And you got to remember, like the craze around the league with defense is 2 high safeties, 2 deep safeties. Beg a team to run, take away the deep throw. Teams don't play the Niners that way. They play single high against the Niners predominantly because the Niners want to run, and Jimmy couldn't throw deep. Now they look at Trey and they're like, well, Kyle doesn't even trust him to throw. He's getting a lot of single high looks on 3rd down. You got to throw deep, and Lance is good at it. And so on 3rd and 6, they threw deep to Jawan Jennings. That should have been Danny Gray. There's going to be so many opportunities for Trey Lance to throw deep against single high coverage every game, and Gray needs to be the guy he's throwing to, or Debo or Ayuk, but honestly, it should probably be Gray. So, yeah, I think he needs to play.
If you hit Jennings deep, you get a nice little gainer. You hit Gray deep, and you get 6. Yeah. So, I absolutely want to see. I don't think Kyle really – I think it's going to be like 3 or 4 weeks from now, and Danny Gray is going to have 2 or 3 touchdowns all on deep routes. Yeah. And people are going to see that, wow, you know what? That's almost a borderline unstoppable element of the 49ers' new attack. Right. And it's like, oh, well, why didn't we see that earlier? Right. It's going to be that kind of a thing.
And I think Kyle's going to get in a good rhythm of heavy run mixed in with sporadic play action passing, shots down the field. I think that's going to be so hard to stop that, the check down is going to be Trey Lance scrambling. You don't have to scheme up a bunch of short throws. Just the stress of stopping that entire run game and the play action deep shots. As you said, you force them to cover the whole field. There's going to be so many avenues for Trey Lance to run around and buy time, I think. So
Niners have not been defended where the safeties are leaning backwards, worried about getting burned deep since Ted Ginn was here with Harbaugh. And Ted Ginn's not even as good as Danny Gray.
Once Lance starts hitting these deep shots and teams start realizing that he's a better deep thrower than short thrower, and they start playing 2 high safeties, the Niners are going to run for 250 yards a game.
Right.
They're really putting.
And Trey's going to have a bunch of runs.
Yes. And a big reason they're playing single high on 3rd down against him is because they got to spy him. So anyway. Right. Anyway, Danny Gray is very important to this team. He's very important. And I didn't like the pick when they made it because I thought he's a one-trick pony. But frankly, if the one trick is the deep shot once a game or twice a game, and you got him with the 105th pick in the draft, that's a great pick.
There's a lot of vertical threats. There aren't a lot of vertical threats who are both vertical and tough. Yeah. They like this guy, and they've told us time and time again, they love him because he can get vertical and he's tough. Mm-hmm. All right. That means he's got to be up, and that means you got to use him.